When The Curious Case of Benjamin Button released in theaters in 2008, I was very excited to see this movie. Upon seeing it, I was very happy with what I saw. I found it to be a masterpiece that exceeded my expectations. Unfortunately, I had a lot of friends who just didn't like the movie. I had some friends who didn't see it, I had other friends who called it too slow and too sappy, and then especially my film school friends called it too long. They said they didn't care for the story wasn't worth caring about. I even had a college professor who said it's a long story and you don't care for the characters. And I literally interrupted her in class and said I cared for the characters, and she looked at me in shock. She couldn't believe I cared for the story. And with all the awards the movie was nominated for, it was clear that a lot of people cared about the story. But still, like my friends and this professor all said, it's not worth caring about. They even tried to force me to admit the movie was too long, and I refused to admit that. The 2 hour 47-minute running time was necessary to capture the life of this man named Benjamin Button in this fictional story. I find that a lot of viewers, more specifically my film school friends, criticize the movie for simply having a story. Movies tell stories. In this case, this is a fictional fantasy story about a man named Benjamin Button who happens to age backwards while everyone else around him ages forwards. While he is growing from old to young, he observes everyone else around him who is growing from young to old. The movie has messages about life, embracing life, living life to the fullest, and always loving yourself for who you are. The film's presentation of a man who ages from old to young enhances the themes powerfully. The early scenes of Benjamin growing up, or de-aging as he goes to church with his parents and learns the word of the Lord, sets up nicely for the later scenes. The romantic conflict also adds emotional element to the storytelling. The visual effects and makeup are absolutely astonishing. And the performances are done with a lot of heart. Almost 20 years after its release, I can honestly say I still love The Curious Case of Benjamin Button. It definitely deserves more audience recognition and a greater legacy.